You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 28th of June. Congress attacks Modi government over predator drone deal. Sri Lanka sees $17 billion debt restructuring in 5 years. And thousands pack onto ferries and trains in Bangladesh to travel home for Eid. And now for all the details, India's main opposition Congress on Tuesday attacked Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government over the acquisition of MQ-9 Predator drones from the US, demanding transparency over the multi-million dollars defense deal. Congress spokesperson Pawan questioned that despite sizable investments in indigenous projects by the DRDO, why drones of outdated technology are being purchased by the government. Khera said by paying more than 4 times the price for the armed drones, government is trying to repeat what happened in the Rafale aircraft deal.
Rafale deal में हुआ वही अब प्रीडेटर ड्रोन्स की खरीद में भी दोहराया जा रहा है. जिस ड्रोन को बाकी मुल्क 4 गुना कम कीमत में खरीदते हैं, उसी ड्रोन को हम $110 मिलियन यानी कि 880 करोड़ प्रति ड्रोन, 880 करोड़ पर ड्रोन हम खर्च कर रहे हैं. तो 1786 करोड़ आपने दिया डीआरडीओ को और फिर 25,000 करोड़ अमेरिका से में जाकर दिया है कि भाई हमें ड्रोन्स दे दो. तो या तो ये 1786 करोड़ आपने गलत दिया और या फिर वो 25,000 करोड़ आपने गलत दिया. दोनों तो सही हो नहीं सकते.
Earlier, India's Defence Ministry had called the speculations over the deal on social media as uncalled for and with ulterior motives to derail the acquisition process. The ministry said the price and other terms and conditions of the purchase are yet to be finalized and will be subject to negotiations before the signing. Residents in parts of India's northeastern Assam state were surrounded by floodwaters on Wednesday as the Brahmaputra River and its distributaries have burst their banks, inundating several villages and affected hundreds of thousands of people. At least 6 deaths have also been reported so far in the state. Locals in Barpeta district, where relief camps and shelters have been set up, said that the flooding has dampened the spirits of the upcoming Eid festival. Heavy monsoons are a yearly occurrence in Assam, which result in flooding that forces residents to flee their homes, often leaving behind their belongings.
ईद का समय में तो सर हमारा तो बहुत असुविधा हो गया. हमारा पानी बहुत हो गया. हमारा घर में बरकी है, गोड़ो है, उसलिए तो रास्ता भी सब डूब गया. हमारा आदमी को बहुत तकलीफ खराब हो गया. ये तो कहाँ से कैसे होगा तो ही तो पता.
India's monsoon season rains were set to cover the whole country by the weekend, according to the Weather Office, as heavy rainfall is expected to lash the region throughout Sunday. Crisis-hit Pakistan is in talks with the IMF for a new $2.5 billion standby arrangement, the Dawn newspaper reported on Wednesday, with the current bailout program set to expire on June 30th. This comes after Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif met IMF chief Kristalina Georgieva in Paris last week. With time running out, Finance Minister Ishaq Dar has said the two sides were working on a mechanism to ensure that Pakistan got the entire amount and not just the close to $1.1 billion due under the current review. The South Asian nation is in dire need of external financing amid an acute balance of payments crisis. The staff of Karakoram University in Gilgit Baltistan held a massive demonstration recently to demand payments of their dues, which have been halted, citing budgetary deficit.
Lecturers and employees of Karakoram International University in Gilgit Baltistan recently held a massive protest over non-payment of their dues, citing severe budgetary deficit. The university authorities have announced they will only be able to pay partial salaries to the staff as they have not received funds from the Pakistan government. The staff, however, decried their problems have already compounded amid soaring inflation and this is injustice.
ये हुक्मरान हमारा सोचते नहीं है, यहाँ पे जो बैठे हुए जो हमारे वाइस चांसलर साहब को भी सोचना चाहिए और दीगर अफसरान को भी। अगर यूनिवर्सिटी डिफाल्टर हो रही है, इनको पता है, तो ये अपना गाड़ियाँ भी खड़ा क्यों नहीं करती है? अपना गाड़ियाँ इनको खड़ा करना चाहिए और यूनिवर्सिटी के दूसरे दीगर मामला जो है उनको क्लोज करना चाहिए। और टीडी मत में मुख्तलिफ मदों में ये लोग पैसे खाते हैं।
पेन डाउन स्ट्राइक है, क्लासरूम का बॉयकॉट है और बाकायदा वो चाह रहे हैं। इस वक्त तक हमारे साथ किसी ने कॉन्टेक्ट भी नहीं किया, जी भी गवर्नमेंट ने भी नहीं किया, फेडरल गवर्नमेंट से भी कहीं सुनवाई नहीं है।
This is not the first time government workers in the occupied region have to often hit the streets to demand even their basic rights, which they say meet a bureaucratic blockade at the behest of Islamabad.
Sri Lanka anticipates restructuring $17 billion out of a total $41.5 billion of foreign debt within a 5-year term, President Ranil Wickremesinghe said on Tuesday. He also assured that the restructuring of domestic debt will have no impact on Lankan banking systems or public funds. The president, calling the debt restructuring as top priority, has claimed if such measures are not taken by the government, the public debt would exceed 100% of the GDP by 2035. The island nation, which defaulted on its foreign debt for the first time in May last year, has set a goal of finalizing debt restructuring talks by September to align with the first review of its IMF program. Nepal Supreme Court on Tuesday ordered the federal government to include victims of torture and sexual violence of insurgency era in their interim relief program. The decision came after victims of the violence challenged the procedure of relief distribution, calling it discriminatory, the Kathmandu Post reported. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights in its report had said at least 2,500 incidents of torture happened during the decade-long insurgency. It highlighted the violence as means was used by both the security forces and the Maoist rebels. Following the peace accord, the government had brought out various relief packages for conflict victims, but torture and sexual violence victims were left out. Thousands of people hopped on ferries and trains in Dhaka on Tuesday to celebrate al-Adha away from the Bangladeshi capital with their families. People crowded at piers, trains and bus stations to leave the city, sometimes braving occasional downpours. Al-Adha is one of Islam's two main holidays and marks the annual Hajj pilgrimage. On the occasion, Muslims sacrifice livestock to commemorate the willingness of Ibrahim to sacrifice his son on God's command. The meat is then shared among family and friends and donated to the poor. The Muslim community living in the Indian subcontinent will celebrate the festival on Thursday.
ঠিক হয় না, তারপরে যাইতে হয়। এক বছর পর ঈদ আসে, আনন্দের জন্য যাচ্ছি, কষ্ট ক্লাস হইলেও যাইতে হবে।
তো অবশ্যই ঠিক না, তারপর ঈদের আনন্দ উপভোগ করার জন্য, ফ্যামিলির সাথে থাকার জন্য অবশ্যই নিতে হয়। এই
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.